Hi, everyone. I'm David, marketing guy at Guarda, and today I'm going to be talking to Anna Komashko, the community manager over at ECOS Mining. Hi, Anna.
Hello, David.
How are you
Thank you
today?
for good, all good.
Perfect. So today we're going to talk about all things mining. We're going to talk about ECOS, and to tell you the truth, I know very little about mining in general. So I'm glad that you're here today, and I get a chance to ask you all the questions.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. I'll try to answer.
Perfect. So, first things first, could you introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about your Web3 and non Web3 background?
Yeah, sure. My name is Anna. I'm a community manager at ECOS. And before I joined ECOS 4 years ago, I was never working in crypto. I was working in the international certification business for a long time in the British company. And really, when I started my job in crypto, it's marketing job. I was I wasn't really aware how huge this industry is, and it was like something probably not very serious for me. But when I started to dive deeper into the topic, into this sphere, I understood that it's a really huge industry now, and it's really difficult to imagine our lives without it, probably.
Well
So it's
said.
really,
Okay.
yeah.
And when did you join ECOS?
Well, it was 4 years ago,
Hmm.
and ECOS was a startup at the time. So it was a funny period. Everything was a little bit at a mess.
Hmm.
And there was a small team of us, and everyone was responsible for everything. Well, right now we have a lot of people in our marketing team as well. So everything is in order, and everyone is responsible for his or her part. But at that time, I was doing I would say I was doing everything in marketing. So it was really funny.
All right. And before we get to talk about, what you do at the company about ECOS as a platform, um, let's cover the basics. So,
Mhm.
what is mining, Bitcoin mining, pardon me, and who is it for?
Well, actually, it's for everyone who is
Mhm.
interested in crypto and who would like to get some Bitcoins for the future, or probably um, for even for for the current usage of it. So actually, everyone can mine Bitcoin, but to do this, you need some special machines, some equipment, which are quite expensive. They solve, they are used to solve mathematical
Mhm.
problems, but to get one such device, such ASIC, you would need to pay, I would say, from $3,000. So not everyone has this amount of money just to try something new. And that's why there are such services as ECOS or any other platforms which allow users to rent hash power and to mine Bitcoins remotely. So without having the device, the ASIC at home, for example. So that's how it works.
All right, I am intrigued. So, is there a minimum budget that you have to acquire before you can join ECOS?
Well, you can start from $100.
Hmm.
Actually, if we are talking about this cloud mining thing, which is renting of hash power, in fact, to mine Bitcoin, you need those machines, which I already named, the ASICs, and you need to install them. You need to have some special container or some place where you plug it in. You need electricity, and it would be good if you have cheap electricity because you would have better profitability in this case. So those devices are very noisy. They consume a lot of electricity. They are quite expensive. So to have it all at home or in some garage, anyway, you have some issues. You have some inconveniences. So if you rely on such providers as ECOS, you can just invest on the website or in the application and receive Bitcoins daily right to your account without having all those inconveniences, so to say.
All right, that makes sense. And I think the
Mhm.
next question I should ask um, should be about just location. So if I work with a platform like ECOS, am I supposed to know where the hardware is located? Is that something that users can know about?
Sure, sure. They have all the rights to know where their equipment is situated, and we are showing our data center. We have a YouTube channel where we show how the equipment works. I personally was at the data center several times, so we made some videos from there, and the issue here is that I'm working from Turkey, and the data center is situated in Armenia. It's a different
Mhm.
country, and so it's difficult to go there every day, to like shoot videos. But we have a lot of maintenance staff there who can provide uh, the proofs, sort of, and show the video of the equipment to our users. And that's what we usually do.
That is actually very interesting. I didn't know that was such an option because I've seen other platforms before, like Two Miners, for example, because we've been
Mhm,
talking to them lately since we're seeing that more and more people are interested in finding non-custodial solutions. So we see
mhm,
people who mine, say, Ravencoin or Bitcoin Gold, and they
mhm,
just looking for a reliable non-custodial crypto wallet. So I started learning more about mining in general, and that is
mhm.
why I reached out to ECOS, and I'm glad that we had a chance to talk about different marketing activities, and here we are now. All right, so we talked about the company a bit, the hardware. What about the team? You mentioned that the company grew in the recent years. Um, how would you describe your experience working in not just Web3, but in the mining space?
Well, it's really cool. I would say that we have a really international, a really modern team, which is located anywhere in the world. We are all spread all over the globe. We have people in Israel, in Armenia, of course, well, in Turkey, in Bulgaria, everywhere, and even in the US.
So a true decentralized team, right? So just
Yeah,
distributed. I think that's the
yeah.
proper term. All right, that is good to know. And how difficult is the process itself? The reason I'm asking because I've been working on different how-to guides and learn and
Mhm,
earn campaigns, and I see that it's very important not to just provide the services, right? To provide good terms and conditions, but also show people how they can follow simple steps. So, what do you do at ECOS? What do you do with that approach? So, do you have an academy, or perhaps you
mhm,
have like a how-to page? So
mhm.
what is the approach here?
Well, we try to help our users at every stage. We have the community. We have the community managers, of course, who help them in right at the beginning of their journey. So we also have the help center who's always ready to support. Then we do have a blog where we cover all the major aspects, and everyone can just have a look at how it works and read all the risks, all the details of mining. We also have a YouTube channel where we shoot a lot of educative videos, and we also trying to uh, tell people just not only about mining but also about all the crypto related things, so that they could get more educated. And because if a person is more educated, then he is probably less is it's not so risky probably
Hmm.
for him to be in this area because there are a lot of scammers around,
Yeah.
and so the user can easily fall, become the victim of those scammers. Yeah, and it's really funny because as I've been working in ECOS for 4 years already,
Hmm.
a lot of our users know me, and we have, I don't know whether it's a group of people or if it's one user who tries to, scam people on behalf of me. So
Wow.
he or she, I don't know, writes to them in Telegram, in social media. They make different pages telling
Just
themselves,
pretending to be you,
yeah,
right?
yeah, pretending to be me and asking people to send money to just send funds to some external wallet and telling
You
them
know
that it's
what?
me.
And I'm not gonna lie, we have to deal with the same problem. It's just with Guarda, people pretend
Hmm.
that they work at Guarda, and then they ask
Really?
people to do ridiculous things. And it's important that you understand that the risks
Hmm.
are there. And I remember when I first reached out to you, you were
Hmm.
especially careful. You did ask for the email, and
Yeah.
you were not so sure. And that's the key. I do the same thing. If
I'm
someone
sorry for
reaches
that.
out, no, 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 all good. That's the proper way. Because I've seen people who are extremely good at faking and just pretending
Hmm.
to be someone else. They use deep
Yeah.
fake videos. They're
Hmm.
desperate. So again, to those of you watching this interview, if you're on Telegram or anywhere else on the internet and someone pretends to be Anna or pretends to work at Garda, make sure you reach out to us directly, and
Hmm.
contact the support. Whatever you have to do, just don't follow, their, I don't know, rules. I think that's the best advice I
Exactly.
can share here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. And since you mentioned the community, how would you
Hmm.
describe it? So, Ecos community, would you say that it's most active on Telegram or Twitter or even YouTube?
Well, I think everywhere, but um, the most of our community where we can reach out to them is probably the newsletter, because not everyone has time to be somewhere on Telegram all the time or on Twitter all the time, but emails, they do still work. So if we want to communicate something important, we go to our newsletter, and we now have more than 350,000 users registered and working with us. So I think it's the biggest part of our community there.
Wow. And could you tell us more about who that person is? Just generally speaking, would that be
Mhm.
someone who's been in the Web3 space for some time? So I'll give you an example, like someone who is 25 to 40,
Mhm.
female, male, or lives in Europe, or you don't have that information. Like, is there something you can mention?
Well, sure. Yeah, we do have this information. Of course, it's not a woman. It's
Really?
mainly,
Why?
yeah, it's mainly men. I don't know.
Hmm.
But they say that the future of crypto is going to the more to women, and
Hmm.
is going to expand more due to women being attracted
Hopefully.
there. Yeah. So, but right now it's mostly male. Yeah, from 25 up to 45,
Hmm.
something like this. And yeah, those are people who already somehow related to crypto, uh, already tried something, at least they have some basic knowledge of crypto,
Hmm.
most of them.
Okay. And what would you say separates Ecos from other platforms? Because I would imagine that Ecos is not the only place where you can go,
Hmm.
to
Of
and then
course.
start mining Bitcoin or maybe other crypto currencies.
Hmm.
But what makes Ecos unique, in your opinion?
Well, I think the thing that we are real. We are real. We do have a real equipment. We have a real data center. in Armenia, we are operators of the Free Economic Zone, which was established by the Armenian government. So, and by the government decree, ECOS was appointed an operator. So, actually, this fact, I think, already puts us higher than many other projects which just created website,
Right.
made sort of appearance of having some equipment, and here we go. In half a year or in 1 year, they disappear. So we already saw a lot of such cases, unfortunately, and it's really very funny when our users ask us why you have such expensive hash rate. Mm, you need to have provide discounts and a lot of things like that, but we are always replying that that's because we are real, we have real equipment, a real data center that we have to maintain. There are a lot of things that need to be done there. We do have real team, which of course needs to be paid. So we are not just two people, sitting like using just computers and that's it. The electricity, the everything,
Hmm.
the infrastructure, it needs to be maintained, and it costs a lot. And that's actually the reason why we have such rates. And I wouldn't say that they are the most expensive on the market, but they are sort of average, but not too cheap. So
Hmm.
when the users ask us, this cloud mining provider is um, much is less expensive. It's less expensive, and we would go there. So, and we are replying that just be careful, because this can be just a scam. They can just take your money and disappear, because when something is too good to be true, then probably it's not true at all.
Yep.
So,
That is, yeah, that is the truth. Yeah.
mhm,
So essentially, people get what they pay for. So it's a legitimate service. It's registered, and
sure.
there's no risks involved in terms of trusting someone who might not be the most trustworthy company out there.
Yeah, yeah, of course, there are risks, the risks related to profitability, because it's the
Hmm.
crypto market. So if it's going down, that then the profitability is not so good. But everyone should understand these risks, because if a person doesn't want to have such risks, then he should probably go to the bank or
Hmm.
to some other traditional area, and just have his 0 point, I don't know,
Yeah.
1%.
Set percentage. Yeah.
Yes, but there will be no risks. In crypto, there are always risks, but we guarantee that there will be no issues related to, our disappearance or something like this. We will always exist. We do provide our services. We do pay out in Bitcoins. Probably this amount decreases when the market is down, but then when the market is up, and one day it always goes up, then the situation gets much better.
All right. And Anna, I noticed that on your website, you have so many different, like ECOS has so many different specials. So there's a birthday special, right? Different contests. You
Mhm.
distribute rewards. So as a marketing guy, what I would like to know is, how does your team come up with so many different ideas? Like, who is the person generating, the clever, ways to make sure that people show up, they register, and they stay with ECOS?
We have the whole team
Hmm.
of marketing people, marketing brains, who generate all these things. But I think that we have a very cool team right now. So I'm really enjoying working with those
I can
people.
tell.
So much creative, and I'm also taking part in this creation of
Hmm.
those ideas, and I'm really enjoying it right now. So I hope that we have a long way, to work together. So because I really like it.
That is good to hear. All right, and I am pretty sure that ECOS is not just a Bitcoin mining platform. So, what about other Web3 areas that the company
Mhm.
might explore soon? I know NFTs were mentioned, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, what
Definitely.
is the game plan?
Well, actually, when we just started, we were selling equipment, only selling the equipment. Then we added cloud mining service. Then we developed our own mobile application, which has the wallet, the portfolios already set up of different coins, the exchange, and now we are planning to have the NFTs. And I was actually not allowed to tell a lot about NFTs because it's going to be something,
Of
something
course.
different from what usually NFTs are. So I hope it will be a very unusual and bright product. So, and we also have a lot of other plans. So we will see how which of them will develop into something
Mhm.
really
Yeah,
cool.
I appreciate that you mentioned the NFT. Let's call it project collection. I can't wait to see it, and I understand that you have to follow certain rules so people can get information on social media and stay tuned to all the updates. All right,
Hmm.
and what about conferences? So you mentioned that you travel to different countries, right, where hardware is located. But what
Hmm.
about the mining community in general? Do you get to go to different events as a speaker or someone who's attending the event?
Yeah, sure. We do attend the events, not me particularly, my
Hmm.
colleagues, mainly from the sales department. We
Hmm.
have a lot of sales guys. So it's actually more to them, their part.
I
So,
see.
mhm.
All right. And my next question was about, again, content. So
Mhm.
let's talk a bit more about marketing. Um,
Mhm.
Video format, do you find it to be the most effective way to present information and to explain how things work? Or since you mentioned the newsletter, both can work. So what do you think? Video, text-based, or a mix of both?
I think the mix always
Mhm.
works better. That's probably the reason why we have decided to make our academy a mixture of both text and video. We are now working on it. So I hope till the end of this year we will launch it, and we'll see. We'll see how this mixture works.
Funny thing you mentioned academy because we have the Guarda Academy, and I hope that when
Mhm.
you guys launch your academy, two academies can get together. We can just share information. Perhaps
Sure.
you can
I think,
talk about
yeah.
non-custodial platforms, and we would be
Mhm.
happy to talk about just what Bitcoin mining is all about.
Mhm.
All
Yeah,
right,
sure.
and the last thing I would want to do is record a long video that nobody watches. So I'm just going to ask you a few more questions. So, what about the Web3 space? You were enjoying working with ECOS, but
Mhm.
what would you say is different in this space from any other field, like professional field? So, are people different in the way that they communicate with each other, or the approach is different? Is something you noticed, perhaps?
Well, what comes to my mind is the number of scammers.
Okay, so that's one.
Uh, yeah, that's just that's the thing that I actually was very shocked about. I would say so because I used to work in the B2B sphere, and I would never ever met something like this there. And those different schemes, the Ponzi's, I was like, how can this exist? So that's probably not the most pleasant, but that's the reality, unfortunately.
Hmm.
In crypto there are a lot of different unpleasant things like this, so everyone should be really careful, double check every time.
Disclaimer.
And yeah, any information that he gets. And but in general, what I like in this sphere is that it gives sort of more freedom. It's more less formal, probably.
Hmm.
So something really new, modern, and evolving, not just
I
something
know one thing for
traditional.
sure, it's not boring. It's
Yeah,
always something new,
exactly.
something's happening. People are, arguing on Twitter. They share memes, they
Yeah,
complain about the market, it's bear market, it's not
yeah.
bear market and all that. So it's a fun experience. So I'm sure that you're familiar with, how things are.
Sure, sure.
Okay, and I should also mention that those of you watching this interview, please leave your question down below in the comment section, and Anna will answer one of those questions, the one that Anna picks, and then the winner will get a token of appreciation. So, in order to participate, you just have to come up with a question, publish it on here, and then get Guarda, and that's it. So, simple rules, and yeah, the holiday season is right around the corner. And I have to ask you, Anna, are you doing anything special as a company?
Uh-huh.
You
For the holiday season?
Yeah, be it Christmas or New Year's, is that one of the traditions that you guys have, or you just stay with?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course. So we have a plan already of different activities. So we are preparing.
Hmm.
It will be interesting, of course, with prizes as always. So we'll
Perfect.
release soon.
And I'll make sure to add the links to ECOS so people can check out
Thank you so
the
much.
platform and stay, updated. Yeah, and hear about all the cool news and in the world of Bitcoin mining. Anna, thank you so much. It was a pleasure,
Thank you, David.
and I hope that we can create more educational content right when Academy is released, ECOS Academy.
Of course. Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you.
Thank you so
See
much.
you next time.